And welcome back. We're moving into our second segment for today, and we're going to be focusing on a play entitled The Adventures of Ticky. And joining us, we have three actors. We have Richard Herbert, we have Charmaine Garcia, and we have Diane Garcia. Not related, right? Good morning and welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning.
Now, let's talk a little bit about The Adventures of Ticky. It's a trilogy, and let's talk about what's different this time around in terms of the theatre company putting this to the stage.
Well, the Belize Theatre Company, as you know, we've been around for a while. However, we were on a little bit of a hiatus per se, but we're back in full effect. All other plays we did was, it was a single play, meaning that it was just one straight play without separation. But the difference with this one is that it's three different plays that we'll be performing in one night. And you might be thinking to yourself, wow, that's a lot that you think about it. But they're fairly short plays. They're about around 40 minutes each. So in order to get a full show, we had to combine all three of them. And rather than, going with the trilogy, we wanted to say it's an adventure, because it truly is an adventure for Ticky throughout these three plays. In each place, there's a different adventure Ticky's getting into. I mean, anyone who's read the book knows that Ticky is all about trouble. That's the one word you could attach to Ticky. That's definitely one word you can attach to him.
And Charmaine, what made you decide to actually get involved in this?
Theater? Well, I've always been a big fan of the arts. I love acting. And I did a show before with the theater company. That one was Can't Walk Down My Plantation. I was a disgusting nosy neighbor. And so when Mike contacted me about a part in the play, I was like, okay, great. And lo and behold, I get another disgusting role. But
Have you been typecast?
Huh?
Have you been typecast?
I think so. I am officially the disgusting neighbor. Interfering neighbor. And it's a really nice play, and it's nice working with Mike and the entire team. I mean, they are really professionals. A bit scared of the stage, but I will not let you know that.
You won't even see that on performance night,
No,
right?
you won't. No, you won't. So, yeah, I just enjoy acting.
And Diane, what made you decide to actually get involved in Ticky Bud's adventures?
Well, William, I've been in many productions before, and when it came up as a suggestion, we were all excited because we had actually done one for a short fundraising event that we had at school. And we got a very good reception. People were asking, when are you guys going to do it again? And so we decided, you know what? Maybe theater company can actually produce this and make it bigger. And that's why we decided we're going to do the 3 short plays. And I'm for one for comedy. I love comedies. And I think the Belizean audience, they really do appreciate comedies. So I tell you, rehearsals, we're laughing. We're the actors and we're laughing. We can't help it. So we can just imagine how the audience will appreciate it. Because it's really funny.
And for you, Rich, what made you decide to jump on this one?
Well, just like Diane, I'm not a stranger to the stage at all. It's been, I think it's like 7 years when I've been working with Mike for the past, I believe it's 3 to 4 years. So naturally, I hope he doesn't get mad when I say this. I didn't really have a choice. It was, it was basically, you're in. But I really do love performing on stage. It gives me this thrill, this excitement, and I love to entertain people. And of course, I really like the character that I have because it's one of the most challenging ones I've ever had.
What's the name of the character that you're playing?
Boko. He's Ticky's best friend. Sidekick. You want to put it like that. But he's more of a follower than a leader compared to Ticky. He's the one who is he falls for Ticky's little tricks and he goes along with Ticky. So whatever Ticky says, he definitely will follow him. And I say Boko is really a challenging character because he's an old man. We're talking probably in his 60s, nearing his 70s, thereabout. And it's different because you have to pretend that you're old, but still have this lively energy in you as well. So you're trying to be this old person, but you still have to, don't be like dead on the stage. You have to bring that old person to life. So it's a little bit challenging, but I love the challenge that it presents.
Now, that's one of the questions I wanted to ask. And which character are you playing?
Tilla, Ticky's wife. So Tilla, she adores Ticky. Her life surrounds Ticky. But there's another side of Tilla that gets out when Ticky does his nonsense and she gets him real good. So definitely you'll have to come out and see that for sure.
Now, Rich was talking a little bit about breathing life into a character. How do you internalize a character and work with a director to bring something to the stage that will be enjoyable, will be transformative, and create some of the magic that is often associated with theater?
Well, first of all, after you read your script and your character, you start sifting through people you know. Who would have some of the traits of this character? And then you start putting different people's personality, walk, dress, different traits of the person, and you combine that into a character. And then you have to live that character.
So at work, do you walk around all day?
You should, but I'm not doing my part. You should. Like I remember the first time I did theater, the then director said, imagine yourself like an animal, right? And so I thought about my character and then I said, I think I don't want a rat. And so I started acting like a rat, just and meddle wrong in everything. And so that's how I pictured myself for the entire time, like a little rat, just disgusting and wanting pests. And that's how I brought that into the character. So it's the same thing now. You'll find, I'm trying to find the animal for this woman. She's Sarah, and I am Boko's wife, and I kind of...
So you're also about 70?
Yeah. But I don't want feisty 70. I'm not really as well as him. I kind of feisty. I'm more 60. I'm busybody.
At William, it was very challenging when our director said, well, you have to be older. So we're like, well, Mike, how old do you want us to be? Because I'm surrounded by older women, but none of them walk at a little broomstick. 70-year, you are not a 70-year-old, 80-year-olds. Some of them are very vibrant and lively. So we had to go through different transition of characters, and Mike is like, no, that's too old. Oh no, I don't want that. Oh, that's too young. So it took a long time to try to actually get and internalize that character and get that character out. Because the last thing you want to see, and he always tells us, I don't want to see Diana on stage, or I don't want to see Charmaine on stage, or Richie on stage. I want to see the characters. I want to see Tilla. I want to see Boko. I want to see, Sarah. I want to see Ticky. So, and easily as that, we something happens on stage, we laugh, and we just lose character. We have to get back in character. So it's a very difficult task, but I guess after being in so many productions, we get it right when the director says, okay, good. When he stops saying, who is that on stage? Is that Diana on stage? Okay, fine. Then we know that, we have accomplished that goal.
What's harder? Is it harder to do comedy or a serious drama?
A serious drama is harder.
Why?
Because I think for our culture, William, Belizeans seem to easily adapt to comedies. When they go to the theater, I think most Belizeans go to the theater to just laugh and have a good time. So when we take like a serious play, a serious character, it takes more. We need to internalize everything a little bit more, and every movement, every word has to be brought out a certain way. But like for a comedy, I think you tend to be more free, more loose, on stage. So, and you can do anything, even if you forget your line.
You could improvise.
Improvise, things like that. And I feel that our Belizean audience, they enjoy a comedy, definitely.
Now, when you talk about the hiatus that the company took, obviously one of the biggest challenges for actors in Belize is, one, finding good productions to be a part of, and two, trying to strike that balance between learning your lines and earning a living and doing everything else, and everybody coming together. What was that journey like, and how long have you all been working on the adventures of Ticky Bud?
The journey, for me personally, it was, I would want to call it fate. I was invited to a production years back, and from that very first production, I found out that being in a play is something that I truly enjoyed, and I wanted to keep doing it and keep doing it. Back then, I didn't know about the Belize Theatre Company. I was doing it a part of Rotary. But eventually, when I found out about Mikey was the director for a play, and since that play, we've been working closer together, and that's when I got to know Belize Theatre Company. So it wasn't like an official joining, but unofficially, we just formed back together again. There's like this core group of us, and of course, we've always been looking for new people who are interested. But it really stems from a desire, an interest to want to be on stage, perform, to entertain, that builds inside of you. And as much as you may have so much on your plate, you still want to find the time for that. You could be working from 6 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the evening, but yet you still have to find that time and that energy to go to rehearsal, say about 7 o'clock, and give in about 2 hours of rehearsals. And it might seem tiring, but if you really do enjoy it, it's not as tiring as it is, and it's very fulfilling. And we've actually been working on this play for about 4 months. 4 or 5 months. Initially, we wanted to do it earlier in March, April, thereabout, but we had some setbacks. That's why we had to push it back until July. But I mean, we've had enough time to get together, mesh together. I don't think we really needed that much, but we're even much closer now, and we're even that much closer to performing and bringing the adventures of Ticky Bud to life as how the director wants it to come to life.
What was the hardest part for each of you individually? Learning the lines, managing your schedule?
For me, because I get old, remembering my lines. So learning, I don't have time really. I kind of spread myself out really thin this year. So I don't have time for study. But for me, once I've run through it, then you kind of stay. And we have a director, we're really patient with us and no rough way up. So he gives enough, he gives us enough rope.
It's true.
And he's very supportive. He doesn't bash on you for not knowing your lines. He's very supportive, and I think that one of the things that helped me most. Balancing work and play, because I play, but yeah. The hardest thing is getting there. Once you've arrived, or once you reach, then you just let loose and let it flow, But sometimes you do feel that I really have to go today, but then you strain the others when you don't show up, because there's no chemistry once all the actors are not there.
And that is so important, because we have worked on so many productions before. Myself, Richie, Jason, because Jason Pasquale is playing Ticky. We have formed that bond, and we have that energy that we feed off from, and that is so important. And William, it's a lot of work. It's time consuming. You have to have the love for it.
You have to have the passion.
You have to have that love and that passion. Without that, you would not You would not last in there because it's very time consuming. We have to go for rehearsals like every day, sometimes on weekends. So your private life, your personal life, sometimes you have to set everything aside and say, you know what, guess what? I need to dedicate my time. So, of course, it's studying your lines, most important, get into character and showing up for rehearsals, because I remember one time we were doing a production and this new actor came and it's like, okay, well, just give me my script and I'll study it, and when I learn it, I'll come back. And we're like looking at him, no, that's not the way it works. You know, we have to be with rehearsals with everybody every single day, because you feed off each other's energy and you help each other out. Sometimes you might see something or say something one way and another person might shows you something, you know, differently, and then we mesh ideas together and see which one is the best. And of course, our director is right there too. Oh, I don't want that. Yes, I want that. Oh, that's good. Keep that. So he gives us the freedom to bring out our own ideas, our own energy of what the character means to us or what we need to do on stage. And of course, he's right there to direct and to say, well, yeah, that works or that doesn't work, or, you know, take it this side or think about it that side. And I'm telling you, William, sometimes he can be very devious because he always finds all different ways. Sometimes we don't see it and he's like, why don't you do it this way? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Change. But when you hear the director laugh, you know, right? Yeah.
Yes.
You're doing something.
Oh boy. All right. What do we have to do? Tell us.
Now, let's talk about the nuts and bolts of the play itself. You said it's a trilogy. There are
Yes.
3 pieces. How will that be staged? Are they sequential?
Yes, because it all happens in one home. It happens in Ticky and Tilla's home, right? And it flows from one to the next. We'll have a short intermission in between. But the ideas do flow from one because, as Richie said, that this is all about Ticky getting into trouble. And from one set to the next set to the next scene, it just kind of flows. What will they do next? What will he do next? Every time he goes into some kind of adventure he has. And of course, as you can see, it's all Belizean because our playwright is Carol Fonseca Reed. And of course, Michael Coy, our director, all of us Belizean actors. So it's everything is Belizean. It's a big Belizean production. So we hope that everybody will come out and support the Belize Theatre Company. We're performing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Bliss. Showtime is at 8. The door will be open at 7:30. So we want to see even the nosebleed section full.
And the tickets?
Yes.
$20?
Tickets are $20, and
Yes.
it's this Thursday?
This Thursday.
That's the 14th?
Yes, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Yes.
It starts at 8. And it should run about...
We would say like 2 hours maximum.
2.5 hours, thereabout.
Because we wanted to give, we couldn't just do one. We wanted to give the audience a good night of entertainment.
You wanted to get your money's worth to
Yes.
that $20. And you have to look at it this way, right? For $20, you're getting to see 3 plays in one night. How often do you get to see 3 plays in one night for just $20? That's something you really have to think about. You can't miss that out. That's history right there in Belize. You could quote me on that as well.
Okay.
And I hope people don't think of it, what, 3 plays? I can't sit through 3 plays for the night.
But it's comedy.
Yeah, it's comedy and they're short plays. They're very short. So, and it's very interactive. Everything, it's happening on stage. There's lots of energy. So there won't be any time for people to fall asleep at all.
Except for me with Ticky.
All right. So you can catch the Belize Theatre Company's presentation, The Adventures of Ticky Bud, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th. Tickets are only $20, regardless of where you sit. It's open seating.
Right, it's open
So
seating.
it's one price. Come early, stay late, enjoy it, laugh, laugh, laugh. Learn about Ticky, Tilla, Boko,
Sarah.
and Sarah. All right, and much, much more. Thank you all for joining me today, and we wish you all the best with
Thank
the
you.
adventures.
Thanks for having us on.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we return, it will be to talk about the lionfish competition that is being held. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these